skin with it. You can take off the skin and you have a really nice piece of serving size. For different purposes, we can have the fat on the skin, leaving all the brown fat that people don't like to see. It still has all the flavors. Then you will have a lot of the fish left here. You can scrape it, you can use it for a tartare, you can use it as a flavor additive to a soup. But what it leaves you is a really beautiful sushi quality piece of fish. Now this is clean. That is perfect for a serving size setting in a restaurant for where the visual effects are important. That is really nice. For the same thing with belly, now I just cut around the fat underneath. We will have the clean belly with no brown fat on the bottom. This won't taste as much as with the fat on, but the qualities there are the same. If we cure them with, which I will show you, then it will last in the fridge for at least a week, no worries, as long as you have the hygiene and everything is as it should when it comes to preparation in the kitchen. Like this is nice. Rinse it, put it on ice, and you have a portion that is ready to use. Tail as well. In Norway we would use this for dicing as fish soups, additives in small courses. But we have many ways of using this. Any questions? No? This is probably the easy part. So that's great. For the curing, we have a couple of techniques that we are really fond of using. We have a lot of the earthy flavors in the Nordic countries, so we need salt. Historically, we need salt. It's a cold country with not that many possibilities in many ways. So our food culture has a lot of these pickling, salting, digging, working, firing things. Big flavors, but it is salty and acidity that goes through it. I have a mixture with the salt and sugar as mentioned, 60% salt, 40% sugar. And me personally, I just do it like it looks too much. But after a half hour, we rinse it, and then it's pretty okay. We let this be in the cooler for a half hour. Half hour makes the salt and sugar react to the meat. It will change flavor. It will be action on the fish that makes the juice go out. But when you heat this up or prepare it in any way, the texture of the fish will be tighter, the juices will last in the fish longer, and you won't have a product that will be of any kind dry as fast as you would with overcooked salmon. So this gives you room for preparing it in a service setting, in a home setting where it gives you time, it gives you space, it gives you flavor, and it is an important trick when it comes to qualities and, of course, the guest in focus. Flavor. We can start off with the preparing of the smoked salmon. We use a smoker, which is pretty much a smoke gun. It's a fan with birch wood. Now I'm just cheating, taking off a little bit. Put the salmon in a container. Bringing the smoker out to make some fun. We cover it up in this technique you can use for as many times as you want. The thing with smoke is a technique we use a lot in Nordic countries. It adds dimensions to the fish. We enjoy it. Of course, not everyone enjoys it as much as we do, so it's important that we don't overdo it. With meat, we can take the flavors a bit further. The fish is a bit more sensitive to these things. But adding the salt and sugar, you will balance out the bitterness the smoke can make with the fish in contact, the surface of the fish. For this salmon, I would probably smoke this for 3 periods in 20 minutes, because when you add smoke to this, it will last. You will see it. The smoke you see will add flavor to the fish. The fish will be more of a yellow texture and flavor. And you can do this, as, of course, as I said, as many times as you want. Smaller fish needs less salt, needs less smoke, as in this situation. But this is a really nice technique. It brings and it looks cool as well. Everything with flames, everything with smoke makes everything a bit more fun to do. You can keep this on for a long time. The smoke will not go anywhere. This cling film will keep it steady. But could put this in the cooler, the smoke will last longer, but it will set. It will disappear, it will set into the fish or into this bowl by itself. Yes. It's a big discussion around smoking things. If apple wood, you have birch wood, you have every kind of wood for the smoking. It is only important for the people who really needs the flavor. You have to look for the flavors. My boss says that you can use satay sticks and grind them up and use that as a birch wood as well, but I won't recommend it. But wood is wood, smoke is smoke. But you can add spices. If you had chilies in here or something like that, that would bring an effect. But wood by itself, it's still burned wood. So you don't have to be all fancy. If you have birch wood, that's perfect. If you have apple wood, that is perfect. But I tend to try to make it easy. Keep it easy. But as you see, it is all covered in smoke. The only thing that's not covered in smoke is the skin. The skin is not, for this matter, in any use for us after we smoke it. We can saute it, we can work with it. But for us to use the skin, it needs to be fresh. Fresh skin, fresh fish is really great. You can add flavors to the pan searing, to the grilling and everything. And a crispy, good skin is fantastic. It's some of the best things that you can have on a fish. But for that to be a case, you need a really fresh fish. And for this part, salmon is a really good start. Now we're going over to the curing. The same thing. This is a classical gravlaks as we do in Norway. We have salt and sugar. For an easier matter, home-style cooking, we take the fillets on top of each other, and that's left in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. the pressure on it.